welcome to the second edition of the new Allez podcast. I wasn't intended to do a separate intro this week, but we didn't feel the main pod was the right place to talk about the Hillsborough findings. So it's great that the findings are in, but 18 years to figure out what we all knew anyway is a disgrace. Worse is that 14 police officers were found guilty, but none will face justice. Even though they committed perjury, they're now safe due to the statute of limitations from that as well. And to think one of those scumbags even has a knighthood for services to the police makes me sick. So I just hope he gets stripped of it. And, you know, what I really want to do is pay tribute to the families who have fought on for justice with dignity all these years. They deserve so much better than to be treated like this. An inspiration to us all. Justice for the 97. Right, anyway, onto the podcast now, and unfortunately it's just Bazza and myself on this one. It was supposed to be Abid as well, but he cried off at the last second as his missus had told him to get his pinny on and get the cleaning done. And we're missing a few others because some idiot forgot to add the rest to the WhatsApp group so we could arrange times with them. Yes, that would be me, because we've got a number of groups going and they were responding to messages in the other group, and I assumed they were in this group, the right group, you know. So unfortunately, I messed it up. So, but look at it this way: at least I've saved you the bother of watching the rest of the pod because it's only me and Bazza. You may as well just give it a miss and switch it off now. Take care, and well, if you do watch it, hope you enjoy it. Hello and welcome to second edition of the new podcast, Allez. This week, well, you've got a treat. No Abid today. So even better than last week, and even better, no Seamus either. So it's just me and Bazza, unfortunately. So sorry for that, but yeah, Bazza still made it, I'm afraid. So how are you, Bazza?
I'm good, Chris. How are you keeping?
Oh, I'm good, mate. I'm still celebrating the West Ham win.
The massive result over the mighty West Ham.
Oh, because they were so good.
Well, as I was remember just after the match I was texting you, and
I can't forget that, mate.
It was an improvement from Liverpool. Yeah. But having said that, was it because West Ham were so bad? I've
no idea. I watched it and I have literally no idea whether it was Liverpool were any good or absolute shite and just West Ham were worse. They were so passive, they just rolled over.
Yeah. I think honestly, and I think it's a combination of two. I think, yes, Liverpool did improve, but God, West Ham were bad.
I think that is...
Did they form any sort of attack?
They certainly didn't have a shot on target, did they?
No, I don't think so.
I have never seen such a limp performance from a team. I'm not sure whether it's that they're not playing for Nuno or they just not playing for West Ham. But they've given up, haven't they? Clearly, their team.
Yeah. And then your man, I can't pronounce his name, getting sent off.
Paquetá.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing that got me most about it is when you watch the people that most tried to stop him getting sent off were Liverpool players. The West Ham players were just stood watching. I mean, you're thinking, what? Bowen's your captain. If that was Jordan Henderson still at Liverpool and he was doing that, one of the Liverpool players was doing that, he'd have dragged him away by the throat.
Absolutely. I watched it again. And Bowen was right beside him. Bowen should have had him by the scruff of the neck and led him away. Told him on no uncertain terms to get lost.
Yeah. Just astonishing moment. I mean, what was it all about? I know the first booking was a soft booking, but there's no reason to go and make things worse, is there? I mean,
no. And like you know yourself, whether it's soft or not, especially when it's soft, no amount of remonstrating with the referee will make him rescind it.
Yeah.
So you just okay, it's not good, it's stupid, but you walk away, you bite your lip, you walk away, you get on with it.
Oh, you matches yourself. as you walk off. Anything, but you don't do that.
No.
It's at the point where you start understanding why there was why they were investigating him for gambling irregularities, because that did have all the hallmarks of someone deliberately getting them sent off, sent off.
Yeah. You really would question it. You really would.
There's only two things that come to my mind in this situation. Is one, he was deliberately getting himself sent off for gambling reasons, you know what I mean? If somebody, either himself or a gambling syndicate or whatever, had got a bet on him to get sent off, or he didn't want to play any more time for West Ham. He's had enough, and he just wants out in January, and this was to make sure he doesn't get injured.
Possibly.
That was the other thing that came to mind for me.
I think there's something behind it. I do think there's something.
Because it was deliberate. There's no way on earth that wasn't deliberate. Because you could see him continuing deliberately to keep going. And everyone else is sort of like, what are you doing? That was the thing. It's the incredulous look. I mean, you know, if you're a West Ham player, how do you go? Or Nuno, how does he not come on and drag him off by the throat the moment he started? Just drag him off by the throat and put somebody else on. Anybody else, it doesn't matter who, put the tea lady on, it doesn't matter. They can't be any worse than he was.
No, they were absolutely terrible. But what about us? What about the highlights from us? What do you think?
Virts was good.
Virts was good.
Yeah, Virts was very good, but it was easy. It was just like, I mean, it was like playing against, we could have played against training cones.
Yeah.
You know all those, you know those things they put in the wall, the dummies, the training dummies for doing the walls. Could have been a team of them for all it. It reminded me of the old joke. Remember, it was when I heard it. It was Souness and Dalglish bumping into a bunch of Everton players in the pub.
Go on.
And they're saying, "Oh, we could beat you with just the two of us could beat you," because they had a few drinks like at this point. Said, "Oh, just the two of us could beat you easy. Oh no, we don't need the rest of the team like that." I said, "Okay then," and they put down £1,000 each, you know, for like we'll beat you, and they said play Everton. And at 5 minutes into the game, Dalglish gets a phone call and has to rush off because his wife's gone into labour. And he's gone into labour, so he rushes off. And he bumps into Graham next day at training. He says to him, "How'd you get on, Graham?" He said, "Oh, I'm really sorry, Kenny. I know I'm really sorry. I really let you down." He said, "What happened? When I left, we were winning 1-0. What happened?" He said, "We drew 1-1. I got sent off about 2 minutes after you went." It's the one where Everton used to get beat by the training cones, and there's all kinds of jokes similar, but they all seem that was what it was like playing a joke. Sorry, I'm forgetting to look at the camera because you're nowhere near the camera in this one. I've got to get used to this. Yeah, it was.
No, it was poor. Even when Liverpool scored, I usually get the phone and I'm texting a few lads straight away. I didn't even. And it was like, I thought Joe Gomez solidified the back a wee bit.
Yeah,
I thought he played well. It was great to see him there instead of Szoboszlai. Joe Gomez, if Bradley's not fit or not playing well, you stick in Joe Gomez there.
It should have been a given anyway. He should have been playing at centre back if not anyway.
Absolutely. It's absolutely ridiculous why Szoboszlai was there. Joe Gomez should be playing a lot more. Virts had a great game. McAllister, the less said about the battle.
Did you see that bit where he, the bit with the show where he went down? The other one, he went down and he literally he looks to see where the player is, then runs at his shoulder, head into his shoulder like he'd been, threw himself to the floor, did about 75 rolls, and you're thinking, Well, you quite clearly headbutted his shoulder rather than him shouldering you. You ran at him. You looked and saw where he was before you did it. Made sure you were going to hit him, and then tried to and he got a foul as well. I was like, oh God. But the worst was that bit when he went down play acting, pretending to be hit, and then the ball hit him on the back. I mean, it was like was brushing him on the back, if anything, wasn't it? And then you think he'd been shot with a high-powered sniper rifle. Oh, it's just...
it's embarrassing, and he offers nothing to midfield.
I just want to say, I just hate seeing him on the pitch.
It was a good finish by Isak.
Beautiful finish, to be fair. That was a lovely finish. Absolutely. What we bought him for. Exactly what he was bought for.
I don't know if you've seen that or not.
What the fuck is Calumendi wearing? He's got like a, he's got like a thing. Yeah. Really weird. Anyway, sorry.
I don't know if you noticed or not, but did you notice Kerkez when he was in the left full back position? He was going to run a good few times, then he checked himself back. So obviously he's under instruction. Don't go up, don't go bombing forward. And I think that's affecting his play.
When he did get forward, he didn't do well though.
But he did, but there was times when he was going to go and he stopped. And you could see him wanting to go. You could see him wanting to do the overlap. Yeah. And he's really holding himself back. And I think that's affecting him.
It annoys me, because there's no point buying a player that's strength is bombing forward and then telling him to hold back. Yeah. The other thing that I did get annoyed at was when he did get forwards and he put a ball in the box and there's nobody there.
Nobody. No,
they're all around the edge. They're all still doing a horseshoe around the edge of the box. It drives me mad, that tactic does. I don't understand it. Get in the box. There's no point being around the edge of the box. Most of the goals get scored inside the penalty area, not outside it, not around the edge of it, inside it.
I think you could argue that Kerkez has suffered the most through this, through the way Slot's playing. Maybe he has, maybe he hasn't, but I definitely think he's well playing within himself. Like, he was one of the best fullbacks in the league last year, without a question. And now he's definitely playing. He's a shadow of himself. So obviously that
massively hindered.
That's by design. That's down to tactics and what he's being told what to do. So I think some of the criticism he's getting, it's harsh. He wants to play. He wants to go forward. And I particularly watched him Sunday, and you could see him. And I said, I think I texted that to you and the lads after the match, that you could see Kerkez checking, holding himself back. So obviously he's on.
I don't know. I tend to ignore your texts. I tend to just swipe them away. most of the time you send them at the worst possible moment when I'm trying to do something else, and the freaking notification comes up as I'm trying to do something, typing like a reply on there, and I end up, and I'm on you like some video you've sent. I'm like, oh no, I was in the middle of typing a reply to somebody's post. Somebody had asked a question on the site, and it's like,
Just ignore the first. Just ignore the first 100 texts.
Oh, I wish I could, maybe. You send 1,000. That's the problem. Oh, there's a surprise. Romero's been booked. Oh, that's unusual. It's not like him, is it? Christian Romero. 17 minutes. No, 20 minutes. Sorry.
What's the score? What's the score with Newcastle?
Still 0-0, shockingly.
Oh.
I'm really shocked. I thought Newcastle are a bit shit this season as well, aren't they? So. But Tottenham, how long do you reckon Frank's going to see out the end of the... sorry, we're getting sidetracked here, aren't we? We're doing we're doing what we used to all the time on these things. We constantly get sidetracked. But yeah, I can see Frank I don't see Frank staying much longer.
No.
The fans hate him. No. The players clearly aren't playing for him. And he doesn't look like he's got a clue.
He hasn't got a clue. He hasn't got a clue. Like he did well with Brentford, but they didn't play good football.
Oh, they were horrible.
Horrible.
Shithousery. Pure shithousery.
Oh, big time.
Yeah. Oh no, hated them. Hated playing them and hated watching them. It was alright when they were playing somebody you didn't like because there was a good chance they might hate someone, you know what I mean? You know, or give them a good, give them a good bashing around, like, you know what I mean? Not hate them as in, just enough to leave them really suffering for the next game because they'd make you win.
Brentford always reminded me, Brentford was our new Wimbledon. I hated Wimbledon with a passion. And I'm not even talking about the 88 Cup final. Anytime Liverpool went to Plough Lane, it was like a boxing match.
Yeah, it was just they were proper organised thuggery. Justin fashioned John fashioned you, sorry, not Justin.
Yeah.
Sorry, Justin.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate. Because he was
and
a
then
nice
you
guy,
had
Justin, whereas John was an absolute nasty bastard. He was proper on him. Why are we talking about Wimbledon?
Brentford.
We're supposed to be doing West Ham. No, we're supposed to be doing West Ham, Liverpool. Have we even talked about it? Right, so... well, obviously, there's no way anyone could be saying Slot's out this week because, you can't sack a man after a win, can you?
No.
And as long as he
so
keeps winning.
Where does that leave Slot now?
I mean, as far as I'm aware, like I said to you, as far as I'm aware, they've never been actually ready to sack him at all anyway. They've been backing him. He's their man. They picked him. They hand-picked him, Edwards and Hughes. So they were backing him. I think things would have to get really bad before they get rid of him. I think, from what I can gather, from what I can find out, is that they expected this season to be a bit of a struggle anyway to begin with, and they just see it as, as that's what's happening. Is there's just a bit of a blip as the players get to know each other, and it should come good.
Okay.
So.
And but I don't know if the fans would be happy with that. After the success last season.
And the money spent. No, but
Absolutely.
I mean, it wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't that every, you watch the other teams and you just think, they're really, we should be above them. If
Absolutely.
we're playing well. This team's capable of winning it again. Fully capable.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the squad we have, we should be playing far better football. We should be winning more team, and Anfield should be a fortress. But for it's ridiculous. Again, we could talk about this for I don't know. The cows come home, but his tactics is all wrong. He's messed up.
I don't understand it. I mean, they can manage to play. I got to watch the games here. That's a much hotter climate, and obviously in the summer. Particularly, when the season starts and when the season ends, at the business end of it, when they're actually playing the last few games, for the ones that matter, like cup finals and stuff, the team I follow here, because they're literally just outside, the stadium's literally just across the road and I'm in the stadium. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Shabab Al-Ali, they're managed by Paulo Sousa, and he has them play. He's kind of a mini Klopp. He's a bit like Klopp. He's got the same aura about him. The fans absolutely adore him, and you hear just as many chants for him as anybody else. As anything else during the game, and that. And he has them playing a high press, really aggressive. But he just tempers it a bit during the summer when it gets too. When it starts getting a bit hot, he'll just have them instead of 6-7 seconds pressed, they're doing it for 3-4 seconds. There's just but there's still the same, the aggression, the high intensity, and that, and yet it's in the heat of the desert, so they can manage it. I just don't see how there's any possible excuse for this stupidity of the burnout thing. It's just if players are tired, give them a rest in midweek.
Yeah.
You know, I've given them a day off
Yeah.
training or rotate them. You've got a massive squad these
Yeah,
days.
yeah.
You know, this isn't like
So-
the 1980s where every team's got 11 players and maybe 3 reserves. And they make it, you know, you're making 5 substitutions a match. There's absolutely no reason for them to be tired.
So do you think that in the second half of the season you'll see them press harder? Like, okay, so what you're saying is maybe were they saving themselves for the first half of the season? Like go easy first half and then go hard second half?
Well, that's what I'm hoping. Yes. Because otherwise,
Yeah.
I just don't understand why. I can understand the change in tactics if it's just to hold them, but keep them, and build it up as the season goes on. So when it matters, you're at it, when you're fresh. But if not,
Yeah.
there's absolutely no excuse to play this way because it's not helping.
No.
It's
No.
just putting us out of contention for anything.
Well, we're definitely out of the league. The only cup now.
Arsenal.
Yeah.
Arsenal
Yeah.
could still throw it
That's
away
not-
with Arteta in charge. If they didn't have Arteta in charge, Arsenal would be miles clear now. They'd have the league sewn up, but because they've got him in charge, there's always a chance. You only have to see the way he played against us at Anfield. Yeah.
Oh, that was terrible.
No intent of winning that game.
No, didn't want to know.
No.
Didn't want to know. So I believe, I have a feeling, and I said this a while ago, I think he's holding Liverpool back for the second half of the season, and he's going to let the reins off. But again, I still don't buy into that. I don't know why you do that.
No, it just makes no sense to me. Just
Makes no sense.
You've got to be in a position to win it. If you're too far behind, you're just throwing it away.
Exactly. Like the only cup now we're playing for is the Champions League.
I think the FA Cup would argue. I know we're out of the League Cup, so we can't even.
No. Domestically, yeah, the FA Cup. Outside of that, the Champions League, because the league's gone.
Yeah, but we still got to keep going because we need to finish in the top 4 because we're at the moment where. Oh God, I mean, we're what, 9th, is it? I only looked.
I think so.
Ago. I only looked just before we came on. I had a look. I thought, get all that in my head. Make sure I knew what it was in case it came up.
Yeah,
And of course, the minute you
It is.
start talking about it, you've forgotten completely, haven't you? Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, because it's just below Man United who rate. Well, obviously, we're above Everton again, which is something. Not much, but something.
Something.
Yeah. Just need to keep climbing now.
Will Gay sign in January or the summer?
I think it'll be the summer, and that's even if we get him now. Will Real Madrid go for him now that they can't get Canate, and will he now have his head turned? I know they were interested in him in the summer and he didn't want them, but that was when we were the top team, you know what I mean? We were top dogs. Is he going to have a different... But I've got to say, I don't really see him as a Real Madrid player.
I don't either. No, I don't.
Not because he's not good enough, because I think he's exactly the kind of player they'd love at the back. Very good on the ball, fantastic. In fact, that's his biggest strength. Is he's an excellent ball playing defender.
Yeah.
But more because he's such a nice guy.
Exactly. He wouldn't be into that Galacticos.
Yeah, it's not just that. It's the way they. Then most of them are knobheads. They're Vinicius Junior and that. And I know people say it about Bellingham, but from everything I've seen and everything I don't want to say too. I'm trying to think how much I can actually say without. But you can think. What can I actually say that you can see yourself? You can check out yourself. Him with mascots, things like that. You know what I mean? And staff at the club and all that. Like the cleaners and all that. He's one of the few that actually takes the time and bothers with them.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He doesn't even at if he's out and about in town, he's the one that he'll stop and chat with fans and stuff like that. He is. I know there's people saying he's a diva and all this now, but he honestly, there's no evidence that he actually is that bad a diva. Not like most of the rest. They don't bother with the fans at all, and that they think they're too good.
That tells a lot about a person's character when they bother with the fans.
Oh yeah, I mean he stops. There's plenty of that, on there you can see plenty of footage of him, like the way he is with the mascots and stuff. You know what I mean? He takes the time, checks on them, make sure they're all right and stuff like that. Whereas most of the players, they only bother with them. Oh shit! No, we've got to grab one's hand before we go out. You know what I mean? And that's it. They don't even notice them other than that. Whereas he'll take the time. He'll have a chat with them and that. You know what I mean? He's a nice guy. A bit like, Jack Grealish, another one, nice lad, but he's a complete knobhead. You know what I mean? Off the pitch, he is a complete, but he's a nice bit dim. But Bellingham's nice, but he's not. I think he gets a bad press, and I do wonder how much of it is racism, innate racism, that a lot of the reporting seems to come from publications like The Scum and the Tory Graph and things like that. So you do wonder.
Okay.
Oh shit! Newcastle just hit the post. And you do wonder how much, because like Phil Foden, the press he gets, he does nothing, and you read about it and you think he's had a fantastic game. Bellingham has a decent game, but you read it and you think he's been absolute dogmuck. You know what I mean? When he plays for England, and stuff.
There's an awful lot of hype over Foden. I never get that.
Yeah, he's not really impressed. I know he scored 2 this week, but he's not impressed at all. Other than that,
I've never been impressed by him. Mm-hmm. He's never stood out for me.
He's not achieving his potential at all. It's a bit like when the way Grealish was there. He's struggling to make himself, to use the talent he's got.
Where does this leave Kanate now? Regards Liverpool.
It looks like he'll end up signing a new contract, unfortunately. Because the team he wanted to go to, what he was really desperate for, and what he's still really desperate to do, is go to PSG. But Luis Enrique never had any interest in him, which is the only reason Real Madrid were in the running in the first place. Because his dream, he's a Paris Saint-Germain supporter and he wants to go there and play for them. So unless they decide to show interest, maybe if they miss out on another target or something, and they decide, we need a backup 15th choice centre-back maybe to help the youth team out or something, or be a new ball boy or something, maybe. Possibly. He might have a chance of getting at PSG, but other than that, I can't see it. Oh, God, how did you miss that, Bergvall? Yeah, I just can't see what, and so it looks like we'll end up stuck with him, which is the worst thing. 10 minutes.
Unless he signs a new contract and Liverpool flog him the following season, because he doesn't deserve to stay.
I just wouldn't give him a contract. I don't think he deserves one. I don't think he's.
He doesn't deserve one. No.
I don't think he's good enough anyway to have one.
No,
I don't understand.
No.
I don't understand why he was there for so long anyway. He should have been the first out the door. He should have been the one we were replacing in the summer. I didn't rate Kwanzaa, but you may as well have kept Kwanzaa because he was a backup.
Yeah.
And sell him, get rid of him, and then sell Kwanzaa next. This summer coming. Because they both need to go.
It's so sad. It's so unfortunate what happened to Yoni.
Yeah, that is unfortunate because he would have been, he'd have had regular minutes. There's no way.
Absolutely.
There's no way he wouldn't have forced his way past Kanate in this kind of form.
Oh,
and I know people are going to say, he's better this week. He didn't have to defend anything, did he? Did he do any defending? Did we do any defending against West Ham?
No, don't think so.
Yeah, and this we're trying to talk about it. I'm trying to think of something to talk about, but what can you talk about it? There's nothing to actually.
Nothing.
Because they were just so bad. It's like they were. It was almost like they'd been paid off. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe that was the bet back at our ads. 2-0 loss. I get sent off, lads. Do us a favour, lads, because they certainly never played to make it 2-1 even. It was like
And
somebody
Isak scores his first Premier League goal.
that was a classic moment. That was a class moment. That was some goal. I'm trying to remember what the second goal was like now. I've forgotten what it was like. I only just watched it again as well because I was going to write a...
Joe Gomez fizzed the ball in, and
Gakpo
Gakpo chested it and buried it.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, there's not really anything to talk about there. There was nothing.
Nothing. It was terrible. And it was very poignant because of what happened. Billy Bonds that day, he passed away. And
Yes,
what a player.
The crowd.
Sorry?
The crowd was so quiet.
So quiet.
I can't remember ever in the West Ham crowd that quiet.
The only time they clapped was in the 4th minute because he wore number 4.
Yeah.
After that, after the 4th minute, there was nothing from them.
It was almost like they were having a silent protest.
What?
Like, you're like listening, you're thinking, have I got the sound on? Have I got the sound on? Are you sure the sound's on? Turn it up a bit, turn it up a bit, turn it up a bit.
So come here. Tomorrow night, Sunderland. Well,
That's a test.
that's a test. That's a proper test.
There we'll find something about the team.
Yeah, exactly. Now we'll find out. Yeah.
Yes, they won't make it easy.
No.
And they won't roll over. And oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, God. McAllister against that midfield.
Oh, he'll be on the floor more times rolling around, holding his eyebrows.
No. It's just... I don't understand why he's so beloved by so many of the fans. Why they all rate him so highly. I don't get it. I don't see it. I must be missing something.
Well, basically a man down when he plays.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, because what does he do? He rolls round. And it's embarrassing. It's really embarrassing.
Every time he went down, oh no, you just like, oh no, please make it stop.
Are Real Madrid still looking at McAllister?
Oh, wow. I hope so. I don't see him as a Xabi Alonso type player, but
No, I don't.
But then Xabi Alonso might not be there much longer. So
What's happening? Is there still a player revolt going on?
yeah, that's the issue. Is the players like revolting, so they're not
Because
instead of teams struggling because they don't like to work. He makes them. It's not just that. He won't allow them to have all their hangers on in the dressing room and stuff at training. You know, all the hangers on are normally following them around. And they're on by the side. You know, they're at the training ground during training matches and stuff. You know, and he's got rid of. You know, you're not allowed any of them. They're not allowed there. You're not allowed to sit there and just play on your phone in the dressing room either. You got to fucking listen to him giving his instructions and stuff now. And that's apparently they can't do their TikTok and shite. They're not happy because they've got to actually listen to instructions now and do as they're told.
That sounds like the Spice Boys in the 90s.
Yes, they're just pathetic. They think they're too good, and then it's not. That's why Barcelona beat them. I mean,
Didn't David James have somebody in Melwood for when he was modelling for Armani or one of them, and he'd have to take the calls and then call him over. There was something to do with David James and modelling, and he had to go and answer his phones.
Yeah, he had some.
So it was like, yeah.
But he used to just go and speak to David Moores and get out of any fines he got for turning up late for training, etc. Because he was doing his modelling and stuff rather than training, or just couldn't be bothered. I mean, there was one time he said, "What's the fine for for being late for training?" Like the first, and like Roy Evans told him what it was. He said he wrote out a check there, said I'll be late tomorrow.
Yeah,
Because I'm going out tonight.
Yeah.
I'm going out on the last.
yeah.
It's like, should have been sacked there and then on the spot. Should have got
Should
rid
have
of him. Should have been put up for sale the moment he did that. But Moores wouldn't have it because it was his mate. Because he liked to think he was mates with all the players, you see.
Right.
Such a...
And is that why we got Collymore? Roy Evans, am I right in saying this? Roy Evans wanted a centre-back.
Yes, he went in and asked for a centre-back. And
we got Collymore.
Honest truth is, David Moore said, we can't afford one, we've got no money. He said, but here you go, I've got you a striker, Stan Collymore. He's brilliant, I love him. I love watching him, so I bought him. We already had Fowler, Rush, Owen.
Yeah.
You know, on the books, like, coming through. We had plenty of strikers. We weren't short of strikers, like. We needed defenders desperately. We were terrible at the back.
Come here, what do you reckon for tomorrow night? What do you reckon the lineup? Will he go save at the back? He has to.
Yeah, but already said he's going to bring Salah in, hasn't he?
Oh. I don't think that Salah deserves to start.
I'd rather have it, you know, if there's a players that don't deserve to start, it's Canate and McAllister over Salah. It must be said.
Well,
and this is the issue is...
That is true.
How are those two in the team, but Salah's the one that gets dropped?
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I understand you've got to drop... The thing is, though, if you're having Isaac up front, you can't really play Salah on the right.
No.
Because they're just neither of them work hard enough to make up for it. Or you've got to make Salah work hard, and if that means he's only got 60 minutes in his leg, that's it. Do 60 minutes and then we'll take you off, mate. Yeah, and have a nice early rest.
Do you reckon Salah will start?
Yeah, I think he'll change it. He'll bring Salah in. Problem is, he won't change where the weakness is, and that's in midfield. We're still poor in midfield, and there's just no fight in there with McAllister and Gravenberch.
No.
I love Gravenberch, but he's not a fighter.
He's not. No.
He's not going to go into, you know, he's not going to get stuck in when you need him to or anything, because that's just not his game. He's classy, but he's not, he's not got that bite that we need, and we miss it so badly. I don't understand why Slot can't see that we lack a bit of fight in there.
Is there anybody in the squad that you can play in midfield with that bite? I don't think there is.
Only Endo.
Have we any? Who?
Endo.
Endo was right, yeah. But he doesn't like Endo.
Yeah.
He's giving him nothing.
And there's no way he's going to be in any shape to play anyway, because he's not really had any minutes.
No.
Can't expect him to suddenly be thrown in and perform. But this is a game that you absolutely need an Endo type in there.
And I think their midfield will get stuck in.
Oh yeah, that's the way they play. They do get stuck in. Even that little Enzo Lafay or whatever his name is, the little guy in midfield. Attacking midfield. Usually plays him on the left, but he's actually an attacking midfield, central attacking midfielder really. Tiny little thing, but my God, he puts himself about when he's when they're fighting for the ball. He's in there throwing himself in.
But that's what we should do. We should get videos of him, sit McAllister down and go, here, this is what you're supposed to be doing.
McAllister can't do that because he's not mobile enough.
No, he's not. No.
He's not got the mobility, and that's the problem you got. Even if he was able to put a bit of bite into his game, he'd still be too far behind any of the play to actually get a tackle in there. Or rolling around on the floor somewhere on the wings or somewhere.
So what does he bring to the midfield then?
Play acting.
Yeah, that's it. Because he brings nothing else.
When he gets around the edge in the box, he's a decent ball. He's got a decent ball in him. He's got good vision. He's got a decent shot. I can see all that, and he's not bad in the air for a little guy. You know what I mean? If you get the ball, if you get a cross into him, he's got a chance of getting on the end of it. in actual central midfield where he's playing, he's more
does
of a
nothing.
liability than a help.
Yeah.
If he was playing further forward, he's a good player, but not in the role we've got him in.
No.
He just ends up being he weakens the team rather than strengthens it. It's a bit like it was a bit like having Abid and Seamus here last week. Obviously we weakened the team. We've improved it now. We've just kept the two main pieces in.
I feel sorry for Chiesa. Like, he's sitting on the bench and he's biting his tongue. And in fairness to him, he hasn't come out in the press. He hasn't badmouthed anybody.
Quite the opposite.
He's just getting off. Sorry?
Quite the opposite, in fact. He's regularly said how much he loves it, and he just wishes he was. He said he just wishes he was getting more game time rather than complaining about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have to give him credit, for being very professional. But I think if anybody deserves minutes, he does as well.
Yeah, because when he plays, he's always a threat.
Yeah, big time.
Whereas, okay, I know Isaac scored this week, so that's worked out as a decent one. But every game up until then, he's been nowhere near getting onto a ball in the scoring position. He's just so far off the play, and you can't keep carrying past. We've seen what it's done to our results. We can't keep going. We have to do better. So, yeah.
Is Slot hoping that he'll play him? The more he plays him, the more fitter he'll get.
Well, yeah. Obviously that should happen, but we can't carry him at this level of the game.
No.
If you're in fantastic form, you can do that. Everybody's playing well, and you're just one player who's out of form or searching for fitness, you can get away with it. But when everybody's playing badly and the team's having a disastrous run, you've got to take these guys. You've got to take him out, and you put him on the bench until things are sorted.
You can't carry passengers. No. But what about giving them more training sessions, intensify the training to bring them up,
and bounce games and play him in the reserves in the kids' games and stuff.
Exactly.
Get his fitness
Exactly.
up. I can't. Yeah. Are they too important these days? That used to annoy me with Rafa. He wouldn't play the first team players. The squad members. They wouldn't play in the reserve games. I just don't understand the treatment of Ikatiki either. When you think he was playing really well,
he was firing.
Isaac comes back fit from injury, and Ikatiki's dropped. Well, just leave him in until his form dips. Then you can bring
absolutely.
him. Otherwise, he should be just a sub. No, Ekitike
did not deserve to be dropped. Absolutely not.
I think Slot's created his own problems. That's the issue.
Big time.
All the issues at Liverpool he's created rather than they've come about, without his outside of his control. He's brought them all on himself. That's what's bothering me on him. But that means he's also got the power to fix them.
So it looks as though he's staying for the season. He's not going to be sacked.
Well, he said it'd have to be a disastrous run of results, I believe, before he'd be sacked. Like I said, as far as I'm concerned, he's Edwards and Hughes' man, and they're going to stand by him. That's how I understand it. They're going to stand by him unless it's an absolute shit show.
Yeah.
Which it was starting to head towards, to be fair.
Oh, big time. Yeah, big time.
And if a couple of bad results, and it might well, when things can change easily, can't they? At this time of year. It'll be so close in the table. You can lose a lot of places with one bad result so easily.
Absolutely. Yeah. We need to get a win. We need to win, and then the next game after that is Leeds.
Yes. Yeah, which again it should be on paper. These last few games,
Yeah.
They should have been quite simple, but and that West Ham game, really, we should have racked up a cricket score against them. They weren't even trying.
I can't get over how bad West Ham were. I
just didn't feel like we were trying either. You know, we were going in for the jugular. We were just happy to settle. We weren't
exactly.
pushing, you know, we weren't moving the ball quick. That's why I don't think we were that much better, and I do worry that it's just that they were so catastrophically bad rather than we were any good. Because, you know, I was watching this and I'm there thinking, we're going to be below Man United on goal difference. What is wrong with you? The first thing you should have been screaming at the players if you're, Slot, and you're a Liverpool manager, is you should be screaming at the players, we need to be above them at the end of this weekend. Keep going. Let's get this ball forward and let's make it 3 and 4 and 5.
Absolutely.
They were there for the taking, and then they were down to 10 men.
Yeah.
As well, you know, when they went down to 10 men as well, we should have been looking to rack up a huge score there, but instead they were, again, back to rolling it around at the back because it was easy. Yeah, I'm not convinced we were that good.
No, I don't think
you saying to me, he thought we were really good when we met. And I was like, I'm not convinced at all. I really am.
No, they weren't. There definitely wasn't anything to shout about watching it. It was poor on both sides, equally. But worse was West Ham, and because they were at home.
And they just didn't look like they were trying, West Ham. They honestly looked like a team that weren't playing for the manager. And I don't understand why. Because Nuno, normally the one thing he's good at is getting a team spirit and getting them together. And I know it's turned into a disaster at Forest, but that was more because him and the owner fell out the previous season because he was so defensive minded and stuff. And so the players were sort of like a bit like, you know what I mean? It was like it all fell apart in the background when that happened after he went on the pitch. Do you remember? He went on the pitch and confronted Nuno. Yeah. After that, it was always, because they knew he was dead man walking. So
he had Wolves very organised. No. He had when he was at Wolves.
Yeah, but again, it's just the same. Defend deep and then hit on the counter. It was exactly the same tactics. And when he tried to change it at the end, you know, they didn't look good at all under him. No,
they didn't. No,
and that's why it was a disaster. Because I forgot about wrong team, wrong manager, wrong team. Sometimes you've got to look at when you're hiring a manager. You've got to look at the personality and the person's got to fit the club as well, and that's what they don't seem to do. A lot of these teams. I mean, when you looked at like. The only outstanding candidate I can think of in the past, was Jurgen Klopp. When we needed a manager and Jurgen Klopp was there, it's an absolute no-brainer because he absolutely suits Liverpool down to the ground. He was perfect for the job, and I don't think he would have been perfect for a lot of the jobs in the Premier League. He could have gone into a few others and he'd have probably had a little, he'd have improved them, but I don't think he'd have had the kind of success he had with us with just about anybody else in the Premier League, because I don't think he was the right fit for any of the other clubs, but he fits us. No. A bit like Alex Ferguson wouldn't have fitted most of the clubs in the Premier League at the time, old First Division when he came down, but he fitted Man United because he was what they needed. He was exactly what they needed.
Yeah, true.
I don't mean that. I don't mean this in a derogatory way as such, if you see what I mean. But I mean his personality, the way I'm trying to think of a way to describe bitter's. I don't know if bitter's the right word or not. That he had the chip on his shoulder. That's what I was trying to say that he had about something. You know what I mean? He had that where that was always he wanted to. When he was at Aberdeen, it was Rangers and Celtic, the old firm. He had a chip on his shoulder about that, and he wanted to beat them. And you know what I mean? It was all about he had the players, them and us. It was got to get them. And when he came down to England and he's managing Man United, he could do the same thing about knocking Liverpool off their pitch, as he put it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And while it did take we fell off the pitch before he managed to do, before he knocked us off it anyway. But he had that something to, there was always someone for him to get the team fighting against. And
he had that
suited
focus.
him. Yeah, he was always able to do that. It was when it wasn't that, it was the FA, and if it wasn't the FA, it was when it was Arsenal then, because Arsene Wenger came in and that. You know what I mean? He always had someone to focus them on being against, which is why England struggled so much in his time there, because the players would go away with England, the Man United players, but they wouldn't sit with any of the players because they were against them. Or we, you know what I mean? And it was, and it wasn't until Wayne Rooney came along, joined them, that changed. So you see, people talk about the change with Gareth Southgate bringing the England players together. It wasn't, it was Wayne Rooney. Because he didn't give a shit about any of that stuff. So he'd just sit with, he was mates with a lot of the Liverpool players and that, so it didn't matter that, even when he joined Man United, he'd still go and say, how are you, you know what I mean? He'd go and sit with them and that. And then he'd be dragging over some of the Man United, the other Man United players over with him and stuff, And so they'd end up getting together. It became, and it got rid of that clickiness, where it was Man United players and everyone else was a separate group. See?
Oh, never get off. Never get off.
People claim, Southgate gets the credit for that, but it wasn't. It was Rooney. It was before him. It was already fixed. He just got the benefits of the team changing.
And why did Man United players? Did they think they were above everybody else? Or
No. It was that they were against everybody else because Ferguson had them. We're us against the world mentality was what he thrived on. That was how he had. That was how he got the performances out of them. That's how he got drove them on to keep going, because those bastards want to beat us. You know what I mean? Everyone wants. Everyone's against us, sort of thing. So he's kept on. It's the same thing Michael Jordan used to drive himself on as well when he was playing basketball.
Okay.
He used to do that. He literally would make up excuses to go and beat people. You know what I mean? To go, when he was playing, if he was having a bad game, he'd pretend that in his own head he'd make up that guy. I saw him. He was definitely insulting me. So it'd drive him on to want to prove him wrong. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. And that's how Fergie was. He was, he was driving them on sometimes with false stuff. Just get them fired up. That's
well, it certainly worked. He did well.
It suited what they needed. It was brilliant for them at the time. But I don't think it'd have been the same at 99% of other clubs. It was just sometimes someone suits what you need at that actual moment.
Yeah, no, that is very true.
He came in at the right time. They had a youth academy just about, the crop was just coming through at the right time for him as well. It was just one of those things. And we're in a similar position now with Slot, where we need someone. Has Slot got the right personality to suit us, or does he not get us? Because I'm not convinced by him at all. I mean, it's not just this to go on Ibiza, and stuff like that. People are saying he doesn't even spend. He spends most of his time. He's flying back to Holland all the time. He doesn't even live in Liverpool. He lives in Manchester.
Just going to say that he doesn't even live here.
No, he lives in Manchester. Do you know why? Because it's closer to the airport to go back to Holland.
But that's not good.
No, that's me says you're not committed. To me, that says to me, get fucking rid straight away. When when you're talking about things like that, you're not committed to the club then, and I get it. Your family should come first, and I've got no problem if he'd said, this is too difficult for me. I need to be with my family. I can't. I'm not devoting enough. I'm not devoting myself enough to the team because I'm distracted by by being away from my family. And they don't want to move over, or you move them over. But you can't, there's one or the other. You either get your family to move over and join you, or you say, this isn't the right job for me. I'm sorry, I can't, my family don't want to join me. I'm going to have to, I need to be with my family because this is distracting me and I can't focus on the job properly. Because that, to me, is, I think, big part of the problem. Is that he's not fully focused on the job. And he's not committing 100% to it.
And whereas when Klopp was announced, there was videos of him having a meal. He was out in Liverpool that night.
Yeah, within the hour, he moved into Steven Gerrard's house originally. Then Brendan Rodgers bought it, and then the club bought it, and Jurgen Klopp was in there. Still owned by the club, and they offered it to Slot, but he turned it down. Yeah, he wanted to be closer to the airport.
So you have to live in the city.
Lives in Hale, doesn't he? Is it Hale? I think it's Hale in Manchester. Yeah.
If you're managing a club, a big club, you have to be in the city.
Well, you need to know that you need to get the city, because the whole thing about it is it's got a base. Every club has a personality, no matter what country, what city, what team you talk about. They've all got their own unique personalities. Every single one of them, from Liverpool, Everton, Arsenal, Spurs. They're all they're all really near to each other. Arsenal, Spurs, right near each other, but they're totally different clubs. Liverpool, Everton, right near each other, totally different. United and City, totally different. And if you don't get the personality of the club, you're not going to have the success you should have.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I think that is a warning sign that if he's not living in the city, that's not good. That's not good.
It's a terrible thing, I think, myself. I think it's a mistake as well on his, but he should have either get them to move over here or quit. In my opinion, you should. But at the very least, you've got to live in the city. Why not get a flat in this? I don't understand this. It's closer to the airport thinking. I mean, how far is it? It's 35 miles to the airport, to Manchester from Liverpool. It's hardly far, is it? You can't really complain about that. You're going to be sat at the airport longer waiting for your plane.
Of course.
And it takes you to drive there. So what difference does that make? It's just... No, I'm not happy with that. I just think he's uncommitted. It reminds me of when Brendan Rodgers was too busy diddling his secretary to manage. You're taking your eye off the ball, mate,
Exactly. Well, she was having her eye on 2 other balls.
Yeah, had him doing his teeth and all that.
Oh, remember when he appeared with his teeth, his turkey teeth, and he was just tanned to the last.
Yeah. And he suddenly lost a load of weight where she'd had him exercising and that. Yeah. Well, I'm still waiting for the day that happens to you, Bazza.
Be turkey teeth or losing weight.
Either. I can see with those turkey teeth.
Yeah, no, that's not good. I honestly thought he was living in Liverpool. I didn't know he was in Manchester.
Yeah, I'm sure it's Hale. Yeah, he's definitely living in Manchester though, nearer to the airport. I don't get it, and I don't like it, and I don't think it's the right way to go. Especially not. Why Manchester of all places as well? I mean, it just seems a bit odd.
Could he not get the same flights from John Lennon?
I don't know what the flights to Holland are like from there. I'm assuming not.
I remember after a match one time, Kite, about a couple of hours later, he was rushed through the airport to get a flight. And the same, we seen Yossi Benayoun.
Yeah,
he was heading up for the weekend. So, if they could do it.
Well, I would have thought so anyway, because surely you could get a private flight anyway. One of the little jets. You know what I mean? The private jets. Again, it just seems to me a lack of commitment to the club.
Agreed. I don't think many on the site know that, because I've never seen it mentioned.
I don't know if anybody. I've never even thought about it, to be honest. And
no,
I've never seen that. You just assume everybody knows, and then
come here. I have to go, Tris.
I was going to say, I think we should call it there, mate, because we've actually barely talked about West Ham, Liverpool. I'm really sorry to everyone who watches this, because it's reaching to try and find things to talk about. Because we don't know. It didn't prove anything or disprove anything.
No, I think we covered it in 2 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, there's just not really anything to say. It could be the start of something, or it could be nothing. But like, we won't know until we play Sunderland, because that's the one that's a true test.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one.
Because they look a good side. I mean, I'm
They
very
do,
impressed with them.
And I'll be watching the midfield. I'll be watching Kerkez, but I'll try not to watch McAllister. Only I'll get upset.
Oh.
Chris, love you.
Right.
Lovely to leave you.
Take care, mate.
Take care.
Allez, allez, allez.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Take care, mate.